Hello, I'm Adam, and in my last video I talked about why you shouldn't define functions within a loop, but this week I'm actually going to talk about how you can define functions within a loop, because last time I was actually just using ES5, and this week I'm going to use ES6 or ES 2015. So as you can see here, we've got the same code from last time. The function count is basically supposed to console log out the numbers 1 through 10, except that it doesn't because there's a set timeout inside. So we're basically defining a function within a loop, and instead of 1 through 10, it is 11 the whole time. So what we can do, instead of using var, we can now use ES 2015 syntax and use lint so that it will be scoped to this for loop block. And as you can see here, it's still saying don't make functions within a loop, but when we run this, it actually says that we need strict mode. So let's try that again. And it works. So we'll talk about why we're still getting this error in a minute, but the reason this works now is because let is scoped for this block here instead of the function block, but actually it's scoped for every single iteration of the loop. So every single time the loop runs, you get a new I. Now, I'm actually not entirely sure why we're getting this error, but when I comment out console.log, the error goes away, and I could instead do something like return I, and that still works. Or I could just call log and make a log function. And that works just fine. Let's try that out. And that works just fine. So if we look at the rule on ESLint, disallow functions in loops, or no loop func, it gives examples of incorrect usage, and one of those is using the let keyword, and it says it's bad because it's referencing a black scoped variable outside in the outer scope. So it's using foo, but foo is outside the variable, so that's not allowed. And then in the examples of correct code, there's a couple using let, and it says all references referring to black scope variables such as I is black scoped. Same thing here. This one's not actually accessing I, but so this one's very similar to what we're doing. We're only accessing I. And so for some reason it just doesn't like console.log in here. Even if I just do console log hi, or even if I comment that out even, saying don't make functions within a loop. It also doesn't like alert. But other things are fine. So I'm not sure what the logic is there. But since most of the time you probably won't be doing a console.log, that shouldn't be a problem. You'll be doing something like returning a variable or something like that. So anyway, I hope that helps. and I'll see you next time. The way they did that is with strict mode. Strict mode is a feature that allows your code to run in a more strict context and how you can write your code instead. So as you can see here, we've got a really simple function